We're still recovering from what happened last night. It's your boy Norbs. Canelo Alvarez signs a 4-fight deal. We broke it last night. We spoke on it. A lot of things are going on. More details are coming out. More people upset. More people trying to figure these things out. But I'm going to break everything down right now, live on the show. Call up. We want to hear from y'all. Yo, what it is, man. Canelo Alvarez breaks the internet last night. I did a brief show. I'm going to be doing some edits and cuts and dropping them on my Instagram at StreetStarNorbe. But if you're here, if you're new, please share, like, hit the notification button. Show your boy some love. Let's grow the channel. You know what I mean? Let's work. But last night, Canelo Alvarez, after many believed that many people were actually reporting that the fight with Terrence Crawford was off and Jake Paul was possibly going down, and there was a lot of confusion going on. We have a lot to, I kind of answered all of that yesterday. I mean, news was coming in crazy the whole time. Adam, what's up, Adam? Make sure y'all like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. We're going to get shit rocking right now. But a lot of things transpired last night in regards to the Canelo Alvarez just deal. I had people hitting me up. Oh, this guy's a clown. I had my guy Jesse Reekin hit me up, the #1 Canelo Alvarez hater, and a lot of other haters that I know were definitely going crazy. Also, a lot of people were reporting a lot of stuff that did not happen. But Canelo Alvarez definitely broke the net last night. Shout out to Turki Al-Asik. Shout out to everybody that made it happen. But what does this all mean? What does this all actually mean right now? G-Man Venezuela, what's up? Jake Paul and Canelo going down? I want to see that one. It is not going down. We're going to break all that stuff down of what transpired with that. Pretty much what I believe happened was I believe Canelo wanted more in that situation. He wanted more in the deal and used Jake Paul as leverage to get what he wanted from Turki Al-Asik, and Turki Al-Asik added a 4-fight. Remember, originally it was a 3-fight deal. All of a sudden, the Jake Paul thing is on the table. Turki Al-Asik suspends whatever he was going to suspend, and then boom, all of a sudden, Canelo gets added a 4th fight, and it breaks last night. Not only that, Canelo never confirmed anything from the beginning, but last night he definitely confirmed the 4-fight deal, liking the blog that Mr. Turki Al-Asik put out and all of that. So he pretty much used Jake Paul, and Jake Paul is not happy. We're gonna get into all of that right now, but it was definitely an interesting night. But we're gonna start off with this video right here. This is what set it off.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
I mean, when he says don't mess with the line, it makes me laugh because I'm like, who's he talking about? I mean, who is he referring to? And Turki Al-Asik has actually spoken out about a lot of bloggers making blogs, calling them out or whatever. Even Canelo, calling Canelo a coward, all types of stuff, and he's this and he's that. But guys, at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez is a businessman. He's a business. Forget a businessman. He's a legit business that brings in a shitload of revenue. And when he put out that story, when he put that out, that kind of went crazy because we all know they had a little back and forth, and Canelo, finally, takes advantage of the situation and makes it happen and cracks a 4-fight deal. Now again, Canelo doesn't come cheap, so we can only imagine what this 4 deal is going to entail, right? And this is the fight plan. Apparently, according to Fight Hype, right? Or no, I'm sorry, Ring Magazine. This is the actual schedule from Canelo Alvarez right here. It starts off with a possible fight with Jermell Charlo, the big brother, or Bruno Service, which I'm not crazy about the Bruno Service fight. Then September we get Terrence Crawford, then a possible rematch with Bivol or Shiraz or Eubanks Jr. Now, I believe, and then the fourth one is in the air. We don't know who the fourth one is. Now, what's missing out of this, of course, is David Benavidez, which a lot of people want to happen, right? I believe that there is a possibility that this fight still goes down with Benavidez. Now, there's a couple things that, in my opinion, are going to hold up this fight with Benavidez and Canelo. One, Canelo doesn't really like the guy. Let's be honest, right? But money makes things go away. But the second thing is this. David Benavidez has he has an uphill challenge right now in regards to the 175-pound division, right? He is the number one contender for the Better Beef versus Bivol fight. Now, if Better Beef or Bivol win that fight, whoever it is, it's probably gonna be a third fight. So that's one of the dilemmas for David Benavidez, right? Now, if Better Beef wins, it sets up a big mega match for Benavidez versus Better Beef, possibly in October, right? Now, this is where it gets murky for David Benavidez. If Benavidez were to lose to Better Beef, I believe that this fight will be off of the table. That's what I believe. That's what I believe in that regard. Now, again, we're going to go back to the beginning of this, okay? Canelo Alvarez began the negotiations with Turki when he went to the Ring Magazine Ball, whatever it was. It was leaked out that he had a three-fight deal. And I guess Canelo was like, look, I want more, or, this ain't going to happen. MVP probably came to the table, right? Canelo entertained it. I believe Canelo's camp leaked this information out in order to put more pressure on Turki because as soon as people seen that the Bud Crawford fight possibly wasn't going to happen, and that was announced that it wasn't going to happen, the internet went crazy, calling Canelo ducks and all types of things. And all of a sudden, Jake Paul's going to happen. Listen, I have text messages from a lot of people like, I can't believe Canelo's doing this Jake Paul stuff. This was all, in my opinion, a part of the plan to put more pressure on Turki to give Canelo what he wanted. And what did Canelo get? A fourth fight out of the situation. Now, we all know Canelo doesn't like to sign long-term deals. So this is a fourth fight within the next 2-year deal, which I believe it's a possibility that this may be the goodbye tour for Canelo Alvarez. I believe that this may be it. These last 4 fights may be Canelo's last 4. Now, 3 of the fights take place out in Saudi Arabia. The Terrence Crawford fight will take place in Allegiant Stadium in, I think, September 13th in Las Vegas, which is, don't even try to get tickets. I'm not. It's going to be crazy, right? But the other 3 fights are going to take place in Saudi Arabia. Now, I believe this is possibly the farewell tour for Canelo Alvarez, but I find it very hard to believe that he'll end his career in Saudi Arabia. So there might be one left, and that's it. Listen, a lot of people are upset. I'm personally excited. Pitbull box, what up? But I ain't never heard of triple. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be it's definitely very, very interesting what's transpiring right now in regards to Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that this is it. This is the farewell tour for Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe maybe there's one more fight. I just can't see him ending his career fighting in Saudi Arabia. That's just me, to be honest with you. Boom, boom. Hold on, guys. I don't tolerate disrespect. But anyways, moving forward. So that's basically the situation. I'm gonna play it again. This is pretty much the deal with Canelo. February. Hold on. I want to play it from the beginning. It's gonna replay. This is 4 fight. Riyadh, Jermell Charlo, which I think is a good fight. Terrence Crawford September. Possible Bivol rematch. I think that one could be switched around depending if Better Beef wins that fight, it could be Better Beef, to be honest with you. Does does Canelo still hold, is it worth to unify more at 175? Because I know Better Beef possibly wins that fight. And again, remember, that's in February. So if Bivol were to win in February, there would be a third match probably in October, and then Bivol or Better Beef. I believe Better Beef or Bivol will be his opponent in February of next year. That's what I believe. I think that's a possibility, unless something changes. But I that's what I believe. And maybe, just maybe, let's say he beats Crawford. Let's say Better Beef and there's a third fight between Better Beef and Bivol in October. That next fight could be in May, right? Or it could be in February, or it can be the fourth fight. They could move that to the final fight of Canelo's career. I don't know, but this is major for boxing, getting a guaranteed for, and especially one of them already being Terence Crawford. I know the fans are they want to see Canelo fight Benavidez, but listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Call up, give me your opinion right now. We're live. We're taking whatever. Hold on one second. My fault. I'm somebody detailing one of my cars. Jesus Christ. I hate texting on the run. But yeah, that's pretty much what transpired. Let me just text my my co-host. He's on the road right now, just to get it. But nah, this is breaking news from last night. Yeah, Canelo definitely used Jake Paul for leverage, in my opinion. It is what it is. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. This is the business. This is the game. This is what you want to happen if you're Canelo Alvarez, to put yourself in the position to make the most money you can possibly. And I think, people forget at the end of the day, this is a business. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to see the Benavidez fight and things of that nature. And I bring this up all the time. Benavidez is a great fighter. But is he a bigger fighter than Terence Crawford? I don't know. Is he a bigger fighter than Jake Paul? I don't know. People do want to see it. Canelo is making it as difficult as possible. I think he's going to run him through the gauntlet. And if he survives, I think Canelo will eventually fight him. I do believe Canelo will still fight him. And that's why that fourth slot being empty, I think, is the possibility of a Canelo versus Benavidez fight. That's what I believe. I think that fourth slot being completely empty may be something in that contract that triggers, if he fights Benavidez, a shitload of money. And I think that's why the fourth fight was there, because I believe that Turki did want the fourth fight. He did want a Benavidez possibility, and I think Canelo might have given him that open spot for a possibility for a Benavidez fight. But again, I think that's going to be pending on if Benavidez gets through what he's going to do at 175 with Better Beef and Bivol. I believe that's what I believe is going to happen. And again, I'm going to play this whole thing, right? So when you look at this, right, look at the dates. Just look at it. So you got Charlo, right? Boom. Let's say he takes out Charlo. Big fight. Takes out Crawford, right? Then you got the Bivol rematch right after that. Now, there's three people there. Then you have the last one, which is the fourth one right there. I believe, again, like I said, if Benavidez were to get through that gauntlet, I believe that he will be Canelo's last fight on this deal. And I think that's going to be the one that's going to trigger a shitload of money. Again, this is all speculation. But at the end of the day, when somebody has this amount of money and he's spoken about Benavidez possibly making that fight, especially the egos, man. Listen to what Turkey says here.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then two more fights in 26. Don't mess with the line.
Don't mess with the line, man. I believe that Benavidez fight is still on the table. I do believe that slot, that empty slot, that fourth slot that Canelo is left open, is a possibility for a Benavidez fight. That's what I believe. And again, it's all based on if he can go out and beat these individuals. That's what I believe. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I could be 100% right. I don't know. But I will say this. It's big for boxing, what just transpired. My biggest disappointment for me in regards to that is that 3 of those fights are in Saudi Arabia. That doesn't bode well for me. I don't like that. I can't get out to Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? So to me, that's the shitty part about it. And of course, no announcement about Canelo. Now, I want to play something. My guy, Two-Tone, this is my guy right here. He put out a little blog. He did a show, but this is what Two-Tone had to say, and I kind of want to address this.
Jake Paul thought he was the A side over Canelo. Jake Paul found out that you can't buy everything. Turkey out of sheep. Canelo got about $500,000 for 4 fights. Oh, and if David Benavidez ain't in this 4-fight deal, Turkey out of sheep. We can't celebrate yet. We not celebrating yet. David Benavidez got to be in a 4-fight deal. And the fight got to be in America. Because David Benavidez trying to become the new face of Mexican boxing. If I'm David Benavidez, I'm taking that date. If I'm David Benavidez, I'm taking that date. My man Freddie up in the super chat with the $20.
Now, Two-Tone brings up a good point, and I said I believe that there is a possibility for that fight to happen. But again, I believe it is pending what he does at 175. If he takes a loss within the next year, that Canelo fight is off the table. And I think that 4th fight is the possibility of a Benavidez fight. Now, Canelo's a businessman. He's going to ask for a whole lot of money, right? But I do agree with him. But it's funny he brings up the Jake Paul thing because Two-Tone is right. Jake Paul is upset. He isn't the A side in the situation. Canelo is the guy that controls the situation. Canelo used Jake Paul as a pawn. He did. I mean, how else can you take that? He got the 4th fight. Now, again, listen, fighting. Listen, first of all, fighting Jermell Charlo. Was he undisputed at 160 before he took his belt at 160? Hell of a fighter, undefeated. Then you get Terrence Crawford. Guys, these aren't cakewalk fights, right? Like, who is doing this other than Canelo Alvarez? Nobody. Let's look at his resume right now. Jermell Charlo, right? Then we have Terrence Crawford, right? Then we probably have the Bivol, Eubanks Jr., right? Or I forgot who the other person was. And I believe Better Beef will be in that mix. And possibly Benavidez? Possibly? Guys, even without Benavidez on that resume, if you're fighting Bivol or Better Beef, Charlo, and you're fighting Crawford, 3 fighters that are possibly in the pound-for-pound list, okay? Maybe not Charlo right now because of what he's went through, but many had him before that. He's still undefeated. Who else in boxing is doing that? I know there's a lot of Canelo haters. Oh, he has to fight Benavidez. Yes, listen, I get it. We all want to see that, but look at those 3 fights right there alone. And still a possibility of leaving that 4th slot open for maybe a Benavidez fight if he gets through the Better Beef Bivol winner. I'm with you. I like it. But let me play back my man Two-Tone real quick.
Jake Paul thought he was the A side over Canelo. Jake Paul found out that you can't buy everything. Turkey out of sheep. Canelo got about $500,000 for 4 fights. Oh, and if David Benavidez ain't in this 4-fight deal, Turkey out of sheep. We can't celebrate yet. We not celebrating yet. David Benavidez got to be in a 4-fight deal. And the fight got to be in America. Because David Benavidez trying to become the new face of Mexican boxing. If I'm David Benavidez, I'm taking that date. If I'm David Benavidez, I'm taking that date. My man Freddie up in this.
I'm with him. I mean, I think most people would like that to be the situation. The problem is this. Listen, if Benavidez gets to that fight, you know, Canelo's going to put him through hell and back. He's going to get him with some wear and tear. He's going to make sure that he goes out and defeats who he probably be the underdog versus both Bivol or Beterbiev. But I'm with Two-Tone in that I'm not with him where throw this deal away. Because at the end of the day, you'll find Jermell Charlo, Terrence Crawford, possibly Bivol. They didn't mention Beterbiev, but I think Beterbiev's in there. Those three names alone, that's most people don't have those type of names in their entire career, and he's fighting them consecutively. That's absolutely insane. Right? That's insane. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody since probably Floyd Mayweather has put himself in this much danger. But at the same time, he's been more consistent in regards to fighting. Like at one point he fought 3 or 4 times in 1 year. So Canelo is definitely putting in that work. You got to celebrate him, regardless. Even without Benavidez in this situation, this is a killer schedule. A killer schedule. I mean, I absolutely love what Canelo's doing in that regard. Now, on the flip side of that, Jake Paul is very upset. Like he's not very happy. Jake Paul came out and and dissed Canelo Alvarez, as well as dissed Turki Al-Asik, right? Jake Paul puts out this tweet. I'm going to read it to you guys. There it is right there. And Jake Paul, excuse me, let me pull it up on my phone because it's a little small on my screen. Jake Paul comes out and says, Canelo Alvarez ducked me. Right, ducked me, Jake Paul, and is now an owned slave with no regard for the pride of the Mexican people who support him on the U.S. soil. It's not surprising when his whole career he has done nothing for the sport of boxing outside the ring. I'm the new face of boxing. You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved. When all of your events tank and lose money, you will all realize who the king of the sport is. 28 years old, biggest fight in boxing history. My own boss, not owned, 5 years in. All of you felines want to see me fail, but God has other plans. It's the era of good, the era of elephant. It's the era of MVP. I don't fully disagree with Jake Paul. Now, the face of boxing is Canelo. Whatever he's referring to outside of boxing, I don't agree with that either. Canelo's done a lot for the community. I think he donated like $70 million of his own money to a hospital. Listen, it is what it is. Now, Jake Paul, of course, I think is upset because he was used as leverage in order for Canelo to get what he wanted in the situation. Now, calling him a slave, Canelo, he beats to his own. What is it? He moves to the beat of his own drum. I don't think he answers to anybody, to be honest with you. But the amount of money, in my opinion, that Turki Al-Asik had to have paid him is ridiculous. But I will give Jake Paul this credit, right? The fact that he was used as a pawn in this situation shows the value of Jake Paul. Because Canelo could have got a shitload of money with him, period. Now, the biggest fight in boxing history, it was free and it was on Netflix. Like, come on, man. Like, if it was pay-per-view, it would definitely be a lot, it'd be different. Now, I do agree with Jake Paul. He is a big name. I would like to see Canelo shut him up, to be honest with you. I like Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is great for the sport. A lot of people don't believe he is. People call him a fake. They call him this. And I think fighting Canelo would have answered a lot of those questions. Now, that's what Jake Paul had to say about Canelo. Definitely does not appreciate being used as a pawn in this situation. But Turki Al-Asik had this to say. Canelo fights only real fighters. Damn. That's what. So Turki is definitely taking pride in taking back and getting Canelo for a 4-fight deal when we all know Jake Paul and his team could have paid him a whole lot of money. That's why I believe this deal is definitely of historic proportions because turning down that one fight against Canelo, against Jake Paul, I couldn't even imagine what they were offering him. And it was a good chess move by Canelo. It was a great chess move by Canelo Alvarez to get that amount of money. I mean, to be able to bring Jake Paul into the fold, to use him to bring up what he wanted. And again, a fourth fight. Now, was the fourth fight Canelo? Did Canelo want the fourth fight, or did Turkey want that fourth fight? It could be Turkey saying, I wanted the fourth fight because I want a possibility of a Benavidez fight. I think the Benavidez fight was a sticking point in that. It could be more beneficial towards Turkey Al-Asik. He may want to leave that open, and there might be a clause in there where he gets a lot of money. So, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it could be Turkey that asked for that. And the only way Canelo was going to do that, if he had these fights in the bag first before, he would cash out against Benavidez. That could be a possibility too. Canelo does not tend to sign more than 2 fight situations with anybody, from what I've seen. I could be wrong, but I mean, what do you guys think about it, man? I'm flabbergasted. Like, I'm excited, man. We get 4 more Canelo fights starting in May. Who do you guys prefer to see, Charlo, or I prefer to see Charlo personally. I think Charlo is the bigger risk. I mean, I think he's the better, and I think his name will look a lot better on Canelo's resume. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean that's how I feel. I mean, let me see. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, I got somebody about to pull up and detail my car. I just wanted to get on real quick. But yeah, I just wanted to update everyone on what has transpired over the last 12 hours. Because this news broke around like 10 something last night, maybe 11. And people are still trying to digest what happened. But so far, this is what we're getting right now. I'm hyped, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super geeked to for this news breaking. You know what I mean? I see everybody giving their opinions. You know, it's crazy. Canelo could never win in anybody's heart. Until he says he's going to fight Benavidez, people are going to continue to kill him until he fights him. And I don't think it's going to stop there. I really don't. I think it's going to continue. If it's not him, it's going to be Beterbiev. If it's not, so you know, this year, these next 2 years, we're getting 4 Canelo fights. I think that's great for the sport. I just wish that these fights were not in. Were not in Saudi Arabia, 3 of them. I wish they were in the United States. But that's just me. But that's the update. I wanted to give you guys a quick briefing on what has gone down. That's pretty much it. I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. with John Iceman Scully. And oh yeah, I'm going to get to the bottom of this Beterbiev possibly being in the mix for a Canelo fight, because last I spoke to him, they were very intrigued with a possible Canelo fight. So, you know, listen, there's a lot of things that have to happen in order for Benavidez to get in the ring with Canelo. And I believe that one of them is unifying at 175 pounds. That's what I believe, which is a tall task. On that note, I'm going to let y'all rock out. It's your boy Norbs. See you tonight at 7 p.m. Make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7 p.m. I have Iceman Scully answering these questions, and then I'm going to be on my man on Better Your Own podcast, I think at 8:30 or something like that, with my man Chiron, and maybe Jamal Herring's on it. I don't know. But, yeah, on that note, I'm out of here.